Hey guys, how you all doing? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be filming a happy video. I'm going to be talking about some of the books on my shelves that just make me really happy. So I love when books like make me sad. I love reading sad books. There are just those books, you know, that just fill you with the giddy, happy feelings, and every time you think about it you can't help but smile. So those are the books that I'm going to be talking about today, and I'm really excited about it. Some of these books also have like sad themes in them as well, but when I look at them, the overwhelming feeling that I get is happiness or love, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So let's just get started. I feel like a lot of these are going to be pretty obvious to you guys because they're some of my favorite books, but that's fine. So the first book is, I think, one of the most obvious ones, and that is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or just Harry Potter in general, but specifically this one is like the most lighthearted one, so I feel like this is the one that like makes me the happiest, and it's the most nostalgic as well because it is the first book, so as our introduction to the entire Wizarding world. We get to meet all the characters for the first time, like Hagrid, my baby Hagrid, and we get to see Harry obviously, and Hermione and Ron, and we just get to meet everybody. We get to see Hedwig, and we get to just see Harry delve into the Wizarding world for the first time. Everything is brand new and exciting, and he has to go to Hogwarts, and this book is just so magical, and every time I read it, it just fills me with happy feelings and feelings of like being home. Like I read this book and it just, I don't know, like the best way I can describe it is that I feel home and I feel safe and I feel happy and comfortable. Like there are just so many good things about this book and about this series that is just the best ever. I can't even like properly talk about it because it just makes me so happy, and it's probably going to be a running theme throughout this video, but we all know how much I love Harry Potter. It's not a secret at all. It's just one of those books where I just can't help but love it, can't help but smile when I talk or think about it, and it is something that kind of controls my entire waking thought. So that's definitely one of the top books that makes me happiest, or that makes me happy. The next book is one that definitely has some like sad parts in it as well, but the overarching feeling is happy and hopefulness and love and friendship, and I love it so much. So that is obviously Wonder by R.J. Palacio. We are not surprised to see this book on this list. It is my favorite book of all time. So this book, while it does deal with some bullying and some sadness and feelings of isolation and being alone and not feeling loved or whatever, it's also really happy. At the end of the day, it's a book about friendship and about finding yourself and about making the best out of a bad situation. And Augie is such an adorable little 10-year-old kid who is so uplifting. Even though he's been dealt a bit of a bad hand, and you know, he's been through a lot and the world sucks and it's scary to start school for the first time. He has a facial deformity, and so he's never been to a real school until now when this book starts, and so he deals with a lot of bullying, but at the end of the day he's a happy kid and he goes through it all and he remains hopeful at the end of the day, and he meets so many amazing friends, and it just makes me so happy and it uplifts me so much. I got bullied a bit in school, and so when I read this it just makes me so happy, and I wish that I had read it when I was going through that bullying. I think I read it the following year, but it just, this book, I think everyone should read this book honestly, because it's just such a beautiful book with so many great messages, and literally every time I think about it I smile, or every time I like watch the movie as well, because it's like the perfect adaptation. It's just, I don't know, it's just filled with so many amazing things, and I love all these characters, especially Augie. I don't know, I could gush about this book forever, so I'm gonna stop now, but it's just something that I love so dearly, obviously. The next book on this list is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. The reason why this book makes me happy is, one, there's nostalgia to it. I grew up watching the movies, and I read the book when I was only 10 years old. So like I started out this decade reading this book series, and specifically this first book is the one that makes me happy because it's the one that I remember the most, the one that I love the most. Whenever you grow up with something, there's always that bit of like happiness and nostalgia surrounding it, so I definitely feel that with this book. And again, there are some sad parts in this book. Some sad things go down. Poor Anne has been an orphan for most of her life, or all of her life basically, and you know, there's feelings of not being wanted, and there is a bit of teasing in this book that kind of gets to her and not fitting in, and like there are ups and downs obviously, as with like every book, but this book makes me happy because of nostalgia. It makes me happy because I love Anne so much. She's such a optimistic and fun and creative character. Like she's she's just grateful, I think, for what she has, and grateful to be alive in the world. And she's just, I don't know, she's inspirational, and I look up to Anne a lot. I kind of really want like an Anne of Green Gables like quote tattoo maybe one day. This book just gives me a whole lot of happy feels. I love these characters. I love Gilbert, I love Diana, I love Anne, I love Marilla and Matthew, and I love all these characters to pieces, and it's definitely a classic that I think people should read, especially since it's a Canadian classic. I think people should read more Canadian books. Hey, I don't know, I love it so much. The next book I feel like is another one that's not really a surprise, and that is What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This is one of my favorite books of all time. This is basically just like a story about a romance, about two boys falling in love and trying to find their way in the world and trying to make this relationship work. And it's just really cute, and fangirling makes me happy. And so this book I tie directly with fangirling, and so when I think about this book I think of squealing and the butterfly feelings in my stomach when I was reading it, and so that makes me happy, and I associate good feelings with this book. And even though there are sad parts, obviously, like I said, there are some blue sad tabs in here, and the ending was a bit bittersweet. The book as a whole was just, it was happy, it was fun, it was lighthearted for the most part. And I just love these characters. I love Arthur and Ben with my whole freaking soul, and I think they're so cute together, and I think that this book in general is just like a fun story, a fun glimpse into these two boys' lives as they fall in love. And I'm just a sucker for like a cute, good romance, and so this book definitely brings me all the happy vibes, and I kind of really want to reread it now. This book is golden. Hey, golden Harry Styles. The next book kind of goes on the same vein as What If It's Us, and it's Geekerella by Ashley Poston. So I love this because it's a cute love story, and it makes me happy. But it's also like one of the best Cinderella retellings I've ever read, and I really enjoy a good Cinderella retelling, which is odd because I don't fully love the actual like Cinderella like story. I think it's kind of boring, but I love it when it's a good retelling, and I love that this one is a like fandom take on a Cinderella retelling, which is always a plus. I'm the kind of person that just loves seeing fandoms represented in books and having references thrown in, and just seeing a character being obsessive about something in the same way that I am, like being obsessed over movies or books or what have you. I just love having that sense of fandom when I read a book, and that is heavily represented in this book. My main character, Elle, is a complete geek. Literally in the first line of the synopsis it says Geek Girl Elle Whittemore, so like come on. And overall it's just like a fun, cute story. Like I said, same thing with What If It's Us. It's fun. There's sad parts as well. There's actually a lot of blue tabs in here. Overall, it's a cute ass story. I really enjoy it, and I think that it's definitely overall like a pretty happy book. Has like a pretty happy ending, and it's a whole bucket load of cuteness. And Sage is one of my favorite characters of all time. She is such a good friend, and I just... Okay, so those are all the books that I'm going to talk about today for books that make me happy. So hope you guys enjoyed this really messy, chaotic video. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Comment down below some of your favorite books that make you happy. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!